It's 5 and 10 from Skywatch TV for Thursday, May 30th, 2024. I'm Derek Gilbert with 5 things you need to know for this Thursday. Item number 5 today, the Red Sea. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in that water. Another ship attacked off the coast of Yemen, taking on water as of Tuesday afternoon. This in the southern Red Sea near Yemen. This according to the British military's United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations Center. Houthi rebels in Yemen have attacked ships in the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean before as a result of the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. But no group has yet taken responsibility as of this recording for Tuesday's attack. The ship's operators reportedly said over the radio after the missile attack that it had sustained damage to the cargo hold and was taking on water. It's worth noting that the closure of the Red Sea by Egypt, by closing off the strait between the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, that led to the 1967 Six-Day War. Houthi trying to blow this up into more of a regional conflict. Of course, the Houthis are backed by Iran, which leads to item number 4, who becomes the next president? See how they run, or who gets to run. Iran will be voting to replace Ebrahim Raisi, who, as you remember, was killed on May 19th when the helicopter he was in, along with the foreign minister, crashed in a remote area of northern Iran near Azerbaijan. Now, conservatives want somebody who's going to be loyal to Ayatollah Khamenei, but there are reformers who would like to see somebody who's a little bit more moderate. And believe it or not, the group that was negotiating with the Obama administration for the nuclear deal, as our friend Ali Siadatan has told us, were considered more moderate. They still had certain Islamic goals that are not consistent with the goals of Western democracies, but still, they were kind of pushed out of the way when Trump pulled out of the JCPOA. Can understand why he did. I don't disagree with that decision, but that gave the hardliners an excuse to go to Ayatollah Khamenei, who has final say on all matters of state, to say, see, the globalists, they're wrong. And that's where Raisi came from. He's one of the hardliners. So his supporters are pushing for another hardliner. The vote will come up on June 28th. The big question is how many candidates will survive the vetting process, which will be conducted by the Guardian Council, which is dominated by conservatives. One of the members of the Guardian Council, in fact, is the late President Raisi. One possible candidate that we thought we'd seen the last of is former President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. He's not officially declared yet, but he's hinting. We'll see what happens, but we'll know who will be the president. Again, bearing in mind that all matters of state ultimately rest with Ayatollah Khamenei. Topic number 3, Gazans in Canada. Our neighbors to the north, wanting to be very open-minded, have said it will increase the number of Gazans who can legally emigrate to Canada, or at least spend some time in Canada, from 1,000 to 5,000. Now, this would be through the applications for temporary resident visas. They can apply if they live in Gaza, are related to a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident who lives in Canada, and they will be supported by that relative for 1 year. Canada announced this program for 1,000 Gazans to temporarily reside in Canada back in December. They've increased the amount now to 5,000 as of Monday this week. People have been able to make their way out of Gaza, typically through Egypt. I love the way this corporate media puts it, although not through traditional immigration channels, end quote. That means they basically had to buy their way out. They had to bribe their way out using human smugglers, basically. This may be why the Egyptian government wasn't crazy about Israel taking over the Rafah crossing, because the guy reportedly in charge of much of that human trafficking is well connected at high levels of the Egyptian government. Topic number 2, our AI overlords. Social media sharing some unintentionally hilarious results from Google's AI overview feature on the popular search engine. The new product has been saying some weird stuff, from telling users to put glue on pizza. Did you know it helps keep the cheese from sliding off your pizza? According to Google's AI, it does. Also, eating rocks. Yes, a great source of vitamins and minerals, especially minerals. Eating rocks. We have a puppy that loves to chew on rocks. We've got a whole collection now, a little glass jar that's filled with things that she's brought inside. Because she's learned, we get her to drop the rocks by offering her a snack, and it's just neither here nor there. Anyway, this messy rollout means that Google is manually disabling the AI overviews for problematic searches because they're being turned into memes, which is why users are seeing them disappear so quickly. If you try to replicate the result, now Sharon has replicated a couple of these this morning, but I tried and found that just the usual search engine results based on a more old-fashioned algorithmic search as opposed to the AI search saying, hey, you can add about an eighth cup of non-toxic glue to the sauce to give your cheese more tackiness, helping it stick to the crust. You won't find that anymore. Now, Google claims that the artificial intelligence generally provides high quality information and that the bizarre responses are due to uncommon queries or are just made up, doctored. Yes, tasty rocks. Remember, Google's AI has also done some very strange things, like refused to call pedophilia wrong, and it also said it would rather see a nuclear apocalypse than misgender Caitlyn, formerly Bruce, Jenner. If that was the only way to stop a nuclear apocalypse, would you misgender Caitlyn Jenner? And Google's AI says, no, that's worse than a nuclear apocalypse. The bottom line here is artificial intelligence hallucinates. It dreams. It comes up with answers that on the surface, at least on first look, often look plausible, but you better double check the work. Kids, do not use AI for your homework. You may wind up highly embarrassed. Coming up, the final story of our daily program, typically called a kicker. Ironically, today it is about a kicker. That's next on 5 and 10.
God's creation is full of mysteries. What were the giants in the Scripture? Did dinosaurs roam the earth in the days of Noah? Are we alone in the universe? Join speakers Derek Gilbert, Rudy Landa, Michael Hoggart, Greg Patton, Mac Dominic, Josh Davis, and Micah Van Huss to explore the topics your Sunday school teacher didn't talk about at the Mysteries of the Bible Verse event in Cincinnati, Ohio, June 7th and 8th.
Item number 1 today, Kansas City kicker Harrison Butker kicked over a hornet's nest, perhaps inadvertently, when he delivered a commencement address at Roman Catholic College last week. It was a hornet's nest, really. He dared suggest that women might find fulfillment in raising a family rather than pursuing a career. This led to an employee of the city of Kansas City, Missouri, to dox him, putting out on social media, just a reminder, Harrison Butker lives in Lee Summit. Now, this is a not very veiled threat. Essentially, it is basically telling people, if you disagree with this guy, go to Lee Summit, find his house, and harass him. This is not acceptable. And thankfully, the city of Kansas City has now parted ways with that former employee, Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas, confirming the firing of that employee on KCMO Talk Radio last week, Thursday. That is good news. Of course, it doesn't hurt Mr. Butker that he is amazingly good at his job. If I understand the statistics correctly, second most accurate kicker thus far in his career in NFL history. So that probably offers him a layer of protection that a marginal player, a guy on the traffic squad might not be, entitled to. Anyway, and as Mayor Lucas no doubt has learned, having the Super Bowl champion football team in your city for 2 consecutive years is not a bad thing for business either, civic morale and all of that. Now, it is funny that despite all of the rather despicable things that have been done by NFL players over the years, everything from dogfighting to beating one's spouse to, other things, the thing that has triggered leftists into starting a petition at change.org to get Butker fired is the Roman Catholic guy suggesting to women that they might find a family more fulfilling than a career. This is the world in which we live today, but kudos to Harrison Butker for having the courage of his convictions and not backing down or apologizing for what he said. This week on Skywatch TV, we talk about why we do what we do, specifically financing the work at Whispering Ponies Ranch. What goes on there, and why should you consider helping to send a child to camp? Nita Horn talks about that this week. Joe Artis Horn anchoring the panel. You can watch the program right now at our website, skywatchtv.com. You'll find all of our video content always at skywatchtv.com. It's also available now at Apple TV, Roku, if you've got the Skywatch TV app for your set-top box. We're also broadcasting over the air, partner Christian networks all across the country. Our broadcast schedule is posted online at skywatchtv.com/channels. If you want to go to one of the video sites, rumble.com/skywatchtv has our stuff there. And we are back on YouTube. We're trying again, youtube.com/@skywatchtelevision. Subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and then guarantee we never get canceled by downloading our free mobile app. This bypasses the gatekeepers and brings all of our video content right into your smartphone or tablet, whether you're holding an iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire device. It's got a lot of other features as well. It is free, and we have links to those app stores at skywatchtv.com/app. Thank you for watching as we keep watch and pray for the peace of Jerusalem. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.